Also, if you looked at the game, and obviously the Los Angeles Chargers were at home, that was a home game for the Chiefs. That thing was redded out. You hear me? It was red out city in that place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm intrigued. One of the interesting things for me one of the bigger things going into this season that I was intrigued to see was Patrick Mahomes. Definitely did not disappoint week one.
Mm-hmm. You throw the ball to the moon. And then they got a good nucleus with Mahomes and Hunt and Hill.
Right.
And then you got Travis Kelce. If they can figure out a way to incorporate him in the game, man, I mean, they're deadly. They're deadly, man. Like, I honestly see, I guess, maybe the Chiefs coming out of the AFC West now. But, that's kind of how it always goes. The first 4, 5, 6, 8 games, and I think in their situation last year, it was like the first 10 games, it was the Chiefs. Here they come. We're in trouble. It's going to be the Chiefs. Andy Reid's going to go face off with his old team in the Super Bowl, probably. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Eagles. And then, So
back to reality.
Yeah, until I hear they're in the playoffs and they're going past the first round. I mean, I just got to temper expectations, but they do have a really good nucleus there right now.
Mm-hmm. And of course, a little bit of them, getting there. We talk about the Patriots and their nice little run in the division and everything. Not saying that the West is a pushover, but they are 17-2 in the division over the past few years.
Right.
And that's going to plant your ticket to the playoffs and give you a chance. And then also, you can't put it all on Alex Smith, obviously, but I think part of the transition as well to go ahead and get to Patrick Mahomes was when we get there, we're not getting over the hump, and we got this kitty set for a year and it's time. So I'm excited to see what they do. Good start for them, and we'll see what happens going forward there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Now let's go ahead and talk about my Cowboys.
Let's talk about it, buddy.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about. Since last year I wanted to fire Scott Linehan, and we still haven't.
Yikes.
Man, defense played well for the Cowboys. To be honest, now this is where we can always say analytics run amok. We can take the numbers and bend them how we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton 17-26 for 161. Well, I mean, Dak was 19 of 29 for 170.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the problem? But if you looked at the game, you kind of saw some of the problems. One of the problems for the Dallas Cowboys offense, you gave Zeke the ball 15 times.
Right.
Probably not going to take care of you, not with the way that this thing is set up. Also, early on, Kim was definitely getting off with the read option, 13 carries for 58 yards. McCaffrey did well, too, 10 carries for 50 yards. He did fumble inside the 10, but still averaging right at 5 yards per carry. We scored a touchdown late, had a chance to go down and maybe get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it, and Dak rolled out, got hit, fumbled, game over. Oh, and by the way, since we cut Dan Bailey and we got a guy named Brett, he did miss a 47-yard field goal for what it's worth, too. Whatever. You can say it's your floor.
I mean, just looking at the baseball scores, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's for two teams with the weapons that they have, I would think that you'd be able to put up a little bit. I mean, even Carolina, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that they'd probably put up 24, 28 points, something in that general area. I mean, and then, you not utilizing the best weapon you have on your squad on the Dallas Cowboys side. I mean, that guy's a 3-touchdown-a-game machine, or better. I mean, if you let him loose.
If you let him loose.
If you let him loose, you know what I mean? But, I mean, maybe it's not really the analysis here that I need to get to. It's more a question. And I'll ask you, and then you can take it. Okay?
Okay. Go for it.
How long do you think that the Dallas Cowboys can survive not only in the league competitively, but with your own fan base the way things are working now?
Temperatures are rising, sir. It's fall, but the temperatures are going up around there.
You'd say the temperatures probably are rising since the end of last season, right?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Some of the things and the frustrations, and man, I'm not going to turn this to the Cowboys story.
You can talk about that on the Nixon 6 whenever you
want that. I'll get it on that Nixon 6 a little bit and maybe expand out on that some. But there's just a lot of different things, and as I've always said, Romo would be much more appreciated once he was gone. This isn't a slight at Dak either. By the way, I was a Dak guy. I wanted to draft Dak. Mm-hmm. I got receipts on that. Mm-hmm. But the way that Romo was able to make what Linehan did work as a veteran is fine. Asking Dak to do the same thing in the 3 years in these asinine, hey, going to play the Giants, and we're going to win. So there's that. On to the next game. I'm done here. Don't want to talk about that no more. Whatever. Let's talk about these. And here's the thing about it, right? I got to talk about the Cowboys losing, and the very next game we got to talk about. Oh, hey, Redskins won. Oh God. So Alex Smith, Adrian Peterson go to Arizona and get them a nice, comfy 24-6 win. AP, 30 million years old. All these carries, the analytics, after you hit these carries, don't do nothing.
Did you just call him a dinosaur?
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of.
Wow.
I mean, he's old. He's old. He's floating around teams. Come on.
Wow.
I mean, he played Arizona last year, remember? And now he's facing them. What does that tell you?
Wow, dude.
Fair enough.
Okay, go ahead.
26 carries. They made sure to get him the ball.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
And he got 2 receptions, so that makes it 28 touches altogether. But 26 carries, 96 yards, touchdown. Alex Smith, we know, takes care of the rock.
Alex Smith did well.
Yeah, 21 to 32, 55, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Mm-hmm. Flip it over to the other side. I mean, Bradford's going to Bradford. I'm completely don't understand why anyone would have gave Bradford $20 million. You got Rosen, play him already. But Bradford, for what it's worth, 20 to 34, 153, 1 interception. We know the defense on those sides there. David Johnson returned. 9 carries, 37 yards. Again, we know that Skins' front 7 is pretty stout.
Mm-hmm. Roll Tide.
I mean, they got a couple of them boys up there.
whenever I could throw it in there for you.
Well, I mean, at this point, you kind of go to every team, and you probably got an opportunity. I don't care if he's like the 4th guy on the depth chart. You're going to that guy right there.
In that particular area, Washington and Baltimore, there's a lot of Roll Tide.
Yeah, the tide for sure is rolling, sir.
Well, let me tell something here.
Okay.
And this is a common theme actually for a lot of the teams in the league this week as I went over some of these stats from the game. I mean, you got 15 touches on the ball for rushing the Cardinals in this game. 2 of them belong to Sam Bradford. You tell David Johnson with 9 carries. You said that out loud?
Yeah.
9 touches? Y'all legit let the NFL generate that stat for you, and y'all walked out of the stadium feeling good? You got 6 points on the board? I mean, you feeling good? I mean, I don't know what's going on in this league. I understand that it's a passing league. People want to see high flying and, long touchdowns and all that other stuff. But
a little razzle dazzle.
Look, man, there's only a few teams that we could point to as I go through these stats with guys that got over 20 touches. There's a lot of 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 touches in these games this past week that I saw. And that's scary to me.
Yeah.
That's scary to me.
Hey, let's piggyback right off of that and go right into the Seattle-Denver game, for instance.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them carries. Hey, Carson, Penny, and Russell Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
16 total carries.
Right.
All 3 of them combined.
Right.
Wilson, tough day at the office, interception-wise. 19 to 33, almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 picks. The rushing, Carson 7 for 51 for 73, but my God, Rashad Penny 7 carries for 8 yards. The new trigger man, Case Keenum. A lot of worry about him in the preseason. Got to win.
Okay.
25 of 39, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he did throw them 3 picks. But back to what you were just talking about on the rushing, not 1, but 2 guys had 15 carries. So you're getting 30 carries right there. You got a little lightning, a little thunder between Lindsey and the rookie Freeman, 71 yards each apiece, and that's probably your difference in the game overall for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seattle too. Let's be clear there too. They got some injuries on the offensive side of the ball. They got some injuries, period. But
they lost Doug Baldwin, right?
Yeah,
lost Doug Baldwin. He's going to miss a couple of weeks for sure.
Fluker's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
on the defensive side of the ball. Cam's out. They offensive tackle Jamarco Jones, he's out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Can I give you my favorite stat from this game though, between both teams?
Sure.
My favorite stat. I'm gonna give him MVP.
Sure.
Because field position matters.
No doubt.
Marquette King had 6 punts.
That boy.
267 yards.
Right.
Average of 44.5.
Right.
With 50% of them punts, 3 of them inside the 20.
Right.
That's my stat of the week.
Generating more yardage in the damn special teams game than most offenses this week.
Man, putting his literally, as I like to say, he was putting his best foot forward, sir. He was putting his best foot forward. Yeah. Oh man. Well, let's get on to the Sunday night game. And the magic that we got to see between the Bears and the Packers.
That's a bad man.
If you're in the group, you will see earlier this week, I am thoroughly convinced that Aaron Rodgers is the John Wick of quarterbacks. That's where I'm at with it. Don't kill his dog. Don't hurt his knee. He's going to come back, and you're going to hate your life. That's just what it is. Beyond the obvious there, though.
Yeah. Look at here.
Go ahead. Yeah, throw it out there. Go ahead.
I believe I also posted in the group this week. That's why you pay that man his money.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why you pay him. Because as far as this game goes, man, we talked about some things last week. The Chicago Bears defense looking as stout as it was before they got this guy, and now they get Khalil Mack, and Khalil Mack goes nuts in the first quarter. I mean, sack, fumble, strips, you know what I mean? Strip, recovery, fumble, dude, all the things that, he basically Bobby Boucher that first quarter, right?
Yeah. Let me get an interception, take it to the house.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Roquan Smith, another guy that I talked about last week, and him just putting moves like vet moves, and he's a rookie, putting vet moves on veteran offensive linemen, which, side note, Brian Bulaga looked like trash for the Green Bay Packers this week. You got a rookie Euro stepping you like he's in the NBA getting past you so he could take down your quarterback.
Yeah, man. Like you've been watching Manu Ginobili tapes.
Right.
Learning that
Tony Parker, right?
Man.
Dude, I was like, what is this? And I mean, in slow-mo, it looked even worse because you're like, wait a minute. You really let that guy do that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, and that defense was bringing the heat. I mean, not only did they get 3 or 4 sacks, but, I mean, the pressure, then obviously the hit that hurt A-Rod. They were definitely getting to him, but,
Right. And the air went out of that place for all the fans that were Packer fans. I mean, and respectively in their homes or at the bars across Wisconsin, I'm pretty sure that people were like, man, not again. We don't have to do this again. Dear God, I hope he comes back, in a couple weeks at least. I hope it's not too bad. And then he comes trudging out of the damn locker room in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like Wild Thing in Major League. And
and does what he does. Puts up the 21 points in the fourth quarter, even though Clay Matthews did try to give it away there at the end with the late hit, the dirty hit, almost, if you will. My favorite part, though, about that is definitely the interview at the end. Yeah. If y'all didn't catch it, it's definitely posted in the group as well. But if you can find it, and they're talking, she's going to be talking to him. She goes, the injury, well, what exactly was? He looked at it and goes, it was my knee. My knee. You look at his eyes, it's like, oh, he got some of that Brett Favre treatment. Yeah. He was feeling good. That knee wasn't hurting at all.
Cortisone on him. Got him.
But now we'll have to see, but projecting out here, Minnesota this week, he says they'll play. It's still unknown. We'll kind of go from there and see.
It's definitely unknown at this point. I mean, you don't want to risk it, man. But, I honestly, consider the guy, right? Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he got passed on in the draft. You know, they drafted him late, and I know one of his statements is this is definitely